voices blending, melodies ascending, harmony in the air. Our songs are never ending. In the barbershop we create magic. Brad and John show, yeah, it's pure classic. No instruments needed, just our vocal range. Notes flying high, it's our musical exchange. Tracy's station may try, but they can't compete. Our barbershop style, it can't be beat. Oh, the harmony of voices, so sweet. In the barbershop of life, our tunes will repeat. No need for instruments, no need for a band. Just the Brad and John show, the finest in the land.
John Combest, it's the Barbershop Boys. What does that mean to you?
It means that it's, well, less than 2 weeks until Christmas, but more importantly, it's Friday.
It is Friday. Or as what did Shelley Barr used to call it?
What did she? What did she call it? Fry-yay?
Fry-yay. I never got...
Oh, yeah, that's an old-timey, that's a great 1990s cliche.
I never quite got that. But anyway, that is John Combest, C-O-M-B-E-S-T. Every single day of his life, he puts together this incredible website called, ironically, johncombest.com. That's why I spelled it C-O-M-B-E-S-T. Put a John in front, a .com in the back, and you got his website. Now, what does he do with that website? He chronicles all sorts of stuff you should know going on around the state of Missouri, politically, governmentally, that kind of stuff. But sometimes he has so many things on there, it would take you a good 4, 5, 6 hours for you to go through all of them. So what we do as a service to the community, first off, we bring in these boys right here.
Time for the John Combest Top 3.
You got it. We distill all the tremendous information on johncombest.com down to 3 top stories. We bring in this gentleman right here.
I'm Casey Kasem.
And what's your job again?
We're on our way to the number one.
And we start off with?
In third place.
Yesterday on the Mark Reardon Show, 97.1 FM, Reardon hosted Congresswoman Ann Wagner from right here in our broadcast area. And she joined Mark, and she didn't have a traditional Congresswoman tone. She was, as she described it, jubilant because her bill, the Invest Act, had just passed the U.S. House of Representatives. Brad, you say, what does Invest stand for? That's got to be some sort of wacky acronym or some sort of, I don't know, legislative gimmick, some sort of feel-good gimmick. Oh, but no, Brad, it's not some right-wing proposal or even mainstream Republican proposal. Ann Wagner's Invest Act passed with more than 80 Democrat votes. And here's what it would do. Brad, I'll tell you what Ann Wagner says it would do. And then we'll read kind of the objective look at what financial media says that it would do. So Ann and friends say that Ann's bill would cut Washington red tape, expand access to capital for small business, and give everyday Americans more freedom to invest and build wealth. Now, if you went to GOP.gov, you could read the official statement about it. But I would suggest folks just go to Mark Reardon's interview and listen to Ann talk about the process by which she went out and got Democrat votes. I mentioned that financial media covered this as well. And here's what they said. Ann's bill would include provisions that would increase the threshold for certain securities registration requirements. Brad, in plain language, that would make it easier for small companies to have an IPO, an initial public offering, and go public. It would also make it easier for young, aggressive companies. That's my words, not Ann's. It would make it easier for young, aggressive companies to do crowdfunding. And this financial piece that I'm citing here says crowdfunding has already gained traction as a way for companies to raise small amounts of money, typically via the internet. The Invest Act would expand the existing crowdfunding framework, allowing companies to raise more money and from a wider pool of investors. So Ann Wagner's quite happy about this, as you can imagine. I imagine this will probably be the signature piece of legislation for her. As you look at this particular term in Congress. And more importantly, Brad, Ann says that she went around member to member to Democrat offices and said, hey, I have a bipartisan piece of legislation here that would help small businesses in your district. It's not a Republican bill. It's not some exclusively pro-big business bill. It would help young entrepreneurs in urban areas just like it would help people in suburban and rural areas. So, Brad, a good piece of legislation, it appears, coming from Ann Wagner that even got more than 80 Democrat votes. How much legislation, how many pieces of legislation get broad bipartisan support like that?
Not that many. No, I got some inside information. This, John. I don't know if you know this or not. I have a good friend of mine that works on Capitol Hill and was in one of the offices. You said she was essentially, what do they call that? Buttonholing people, where you grab their coat.
Wow, watch your language, Brad. Was there a certain state that she went to get votes?
No. She was going, and this particular guy, he's not from Missouri. He's a friend of mine that I've known for a long time. And he said that the amazing thing is when she came into the office, she started talking to, it was a senator she was talking to. And she started talking to the senator, and she said, hold on a minute, I got to send out an X. I got to send out a tweet. And she grabbed her phone.
Yeah, that's the direction I was going, Brad. From what state?
I don't know,
What's
John.
the punchline, Brad?
That is the punchline, because you said the other day that she doesn't even know her Twitter password or X password.
I got you there,
it is.
Brad. And this is a great example, to Ann Wagner's credit. This is a great example of, for folks who don't know what we're talking about, if you go to johncombest.com today, you'll find a link to the Brad and John show from Wednesday, in which I offered some magnanimous, helpful suggestions to Ann Wagner's office. You're welcome. For how they can remedy the situation. But Ann Wagner had what we can presume to be a very junior staffer tweet something out referencing California, Missouri, but mistook it as being California, the state of California. And Brad, I think this is a great example, to Ann Wagner's credit. You can start the week with a lot of noise. There was a lot of noise about Ann Wagner, a lot of people chirping at her, to use a sports team analogy, a lot of people chirping from the other team's bench and from the other team's sidelines. And Ann, up at the plate, doesn't take her eye off the ball. She's moving forward a significant piece of legislation. She blocks out the noise, she focuses on the ball, and getting 80 plus Democrats to vote for your bill, that's a home run, Brad.
That's because she's got Chris Cook on her staff. That's, that's the reason why she's so good.
Well, that's certainly one of the reasons, wouldn't you say? And that's, sarcasm aside, when you hire good people, a lot of people say staff is policy, personnel is policy. When you hire really good people. And by the way, Chris Cook is the type of guy that doesn't want to be in the spotlight. He doesn't want headlines. He just wants to do a good job for the people of Missouri's 2nd Congressional District.
And there's no truth to the rumor that he's going to be the new Michigan football coach either. So we don't worry about that, right? Okay. You don't know that story, do you?
I do, Brad. Yeah, I figured you would love it because it involves a man who's actually getting some action.
Okay, let's move on to number 2.
Up a notch to number 2.
A few months ago, I think it was back in September, we talked about Governor Mike Kehoe coming out in favor of healthy, nutritious food. And not for anyone, but just for people who are on SNAP. I should be more specific. Not just for people who are on SNAP, welfare, but for everyone. But Kehoe's position was, hey, if folks are getting a little help, if state taxpayers are providing a little bit of financial help to people who need it, we should make sure that that food is nutritious. And so Missouri asked the federal government for a waiver. And this week, Blake Rollins, USDA secretary, Brad, gave Missouri and 5 other states, I believe, a waiver. There's some number around, I think 18 states now have a waiver that allows them to exclude certain types of food. Brad, I'm not going to bury the lead for you. Starting in October 2026, yes, like 10, 11 months from now, here's what people using Missouri taxpayer dollars to buy their food can no longer spend it on. Candy, prepared desserts, carbonated and non-carbonated soft drinks, drinks or punches with 50% or less natural fruit or vegetable juice, beverage mixes. Brad, you can't get a little, Bloody Mary cocktail mix with your welfare money. Concentrates with 50% or less natural fruit or vegetable juice. Energy drinks. Put that monster away, Brad. You can't spend your welfare on that. And again, Brad, this doesn't start until October 2026. So if you're an oinker and you spend your welfare money on donuts and red hot riplets and Vest grape soda, you got 10 months to wean your little chitlins off that food before Missouri cracks down.
Does that also include red hot riblets and grape soda? John, are you there?
I'm here, Brad.
Did you hear what I say? Did you
hear me list those?
No. Were they in there, though?
I literally just listed them.
Oh, grape soda and red hot riblets.
Did you listen to me? I said red hot riblets and Vest grape soda.
Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yep. Brad, I called that out. So, hey, we got a double punchline there.
No, I had a glitch in the studio here. I was trying to fix something. Okay, as I have too many lately. Okay, is that we done with number 2?
We sure are, Brad.
The number 1.
Okay, now you can go.
A story from Mediaite. They are a media publication that focuses on the media. And they talked about a post that Senator Eric Schmitt put up on Instagram yesterday, an Instagram reel. Eric was joined by his lovely wife, Jaime. And Eric did something you may be familiar with. You may have seen it on other outlets, probably most famously, Jimmy Kimmel Live. And Eric and Jaime went through and read mean tweets to Senator Schmitt. And they included comments like, what does this guy do besides hawk his book and play in congressional baseball games? So Senator Schmitt and Jaime had a good time going through some of these mean tweets. Some of them, at least one of them, were a play on the word Schmitt. Somebody uses a little bit of bathroom humor as if Eric Schmitt hasn't heard that punchline a million times in his life. So I thought it was a great example of a guy who's can take a whole lot of vitriol that's posted online and have some fun with it, right? And as constituents or people who are not even constituents, people from outside of Missouri, everybody has a right to go on social media and toss little jabs, throw little jabs at the senator. And he takes it in good fun. And he even included Jaime in it. So it's a fun, uplifting video. And you can find a link to it today on johncombest.com.
John, it's interesting because this was something I was going to talk about in C-Block, but maybe we'll talk about it in C-Block because of the fact that I'll just throw this out to you. Do you know about, if I threw out this name, the name is Carissa Codell, Carissa, last name is Codel. Do you know the story about her?
No, I don't know who she is.
She's an anchor down at Color 10, KOLR 10, Channel 10 in Springfield, Missouri. You don't know about this then, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, we'll talk about it in C-Block because it dovetails nicely into the Eric Schmitt story you just gave. Okay, John, I have to tell you, I have I might even make that as one of the top 3 this morning. I think
you have a banger, Brad?
I have a banger, and I have, how I did, was that earlier this week, was that just yesterday where I did where I did the guy?
You did 4 yesterday, yeah.
Where I did the guy coming after me, that Jason Rosenbaum.
You did, that was just yesterday, Brad.
Okay, he was my number 1 yesterday. I have another audio number 1, and John, I think I'm not the kind of guy, you know me well enough, we've done this show for 2+ years. I'm not the guy that pats myself on the back very often, am I, John?
No, and that's because you have very poor rotator cuff flexibility.
I can't get my arm that bad. You're exactly right. I think I've outdone myself with this audio number 1 of my top 3 coming up. So I can't wait to hear it, Brad. You be the judge. And it will be the world premiere. And all I can tell you is if there's a pot out there, some people say I be stirring it, but I'm just doing my job. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Brad, I can't wait. That's B-block for December 12th, 2025, if you're following along on YouTube or Apple Podcasts.
There you go.